So that'll do it for our regular plays. Let's go on to wrap up the show with the upset of the week and the locks of the week. So upset of the week, how that works is we have you got to have a 7-point underdog, and that 7-point underdog has to win straight up to get the point. Currently, right now, Corey is in the lead with 3 upset of the week picks. Pace and JT have 2. DJ, VFC, Beast, Soup, DG, and Thomas have 1, and me and Dan still do not have one yet this year. So let's go through our upset of the weeks. I got complaints last time from this group that it didn't go bottom top, so I'll do that. So I'll start.
Bottom top. What, bottom top?
Ew.
Easy.
It was just me. I was the only one bitch.
Oh.
But it's the only way to do it, Kyle. So let's carry on the way you think.
All right. Going off was how you guys made some plays. I don't think it's going to be a popular pick, but like I said, I've sucked at this so far this year, so it kind of is what it is. I'm taking Washington State over USC for my upset of the week. Washington State, they've been solid all year long. I said they dang well should be 5-0. They blew a 12-point lead to Oregon. I know Cam Ward is very running INT heavy, but he's also passed for 1,400 yards and 13 TDs. They have a really solid running back and wide receiver core. Their defense has been solid all year long. I think getting 13 with USC is a little heavy, and I think they could lose this game. So I'm taking Washington State over USC as my upset of the week. Let's go to you, DJ. What do you have as your upset of the week?
I can come at you with stats and numbers, but all I got is 3 words: Red River Shootout, or whatever the fuck it's called. Oklahoma's the move. Oklahoma. It's going to be a wild game. It's going to be a nuts game. You have no idea who's going to win. You just know there's going to be a ton of points scored, and Oklahoma could win easily could win. Texas, come on. They've been saying they've been back since Colt McCoy, and they haven't been back since Colt McCoy. It's Oklahoma +7. Lock it in.
Not back.
Yep, not back.
VFC, what do you have as your upset of the week?
I mean, JT said it best. It's Navy Pier money line this week. Okay, no, never mind.
Wait a minute.
Kyle, last week, actually for the first few weeks of this season, sometimes you see a beaver at night and that beaver looks really, really good. And then you wake up and you see that beaver in the light of day, and that beaver doesn't look so good. And you say, I don't want to be near that beaver. And that was last week. But I'm sober this week. I'm seeing that beaver at night, and I'm staying away from that beaver. And I like Stanford +7 at home against the beaver. But money line, obviously, but like they're +7. Stanford, I rode Stanford against USC. Didn't work out. I still think they're better than it actually looked. Stanford over Oregon State money line.
All right. Sounds good. Beast, what do you have as your upset of the week?
All right, we're going to take, Pace is probably going to be fired up about this one, but we're going to take Northwestern money line +300 at home versus Wisconsin this week.
Ooh.
Probably a little bit of a hot take just because people think Northwestern sucks, and like they kind of do, but hot take, I don't think Wisconsin's all that good. Like I think they might be a little overrated. We were talking about how much we loved like this defense and like this and that, but I feel like Wisconsin might not actually be that good. And like Graham Mertz, as much as we kind of gas him up, like he might not actually be that great. And Northwestern, they're ass. Like I'm not going to say they're not, but they're at home in this game. Pat Fitzgerald likes to kind of do these little rah-rah spots. This is a game that like you'd never want to tune into on a Saturday. Like this would be worse than like if you're going to torture somebody as like being a prisoner of war. Like they should just bring this football game out and make people watch this instead. Like if you're on like the death row right now, put this football game on in front of these guys because it's worse than actually, going for execution at this point because it's going to be such an ugly football game that I don't even want to watch it. But I do think the Northwestern actually has a chance of pulling this upset off because I don't think Wisconsin's all that good. So we're going to take Northwestern at home +300. We'll see what happens. It's just kind of a disgusting game.
All right. Sounds good. JT, wrap it up for us.
I never thought I'd see myself on the top, but I mean, I'm just really
What
proud
the
to be here,
hell,
boys.
man?
I'm sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Things just happen. Things just happen. But I love Kansas. Plus 220 over TCU. Seems like a lot. Again, they beat Iowa State. Hard to do. So I got to ride with them for another week here. Let's go Kansas.
It's a good pick.
On a number
All right.
3.
Sounds good. And then as far as the other crew goes, if you read the group chat, you already know this, but DJ, you are not alone. Corey is also taking Oklahoma over Texas as his upset of the week. Beast, you are also not alone. Thomas is also taking Northwestern over Wisconsin as his upset of the week. As far as the rest of the crew, DG is taking Arkansas over Mississippi State as his upset of the week. Dan is taking Missouri over Florida as his upset.
No chance, Dan.
I kind of like it.
And I really wish Soup was here for this, but Pace is taking Army over Wake Forest as his upset of the week.
Holy shit. What's the spread on
Army
that?
sucks, dude.
17. That's when I saw it last, I believe.
I don't even know what the one guy's name is. His last name's Tyler. Guy's so awful.
All right. Sounds good. And to wrap up the show, let's go to our lock of the week. Lock of the week is very simple. If it hits, you get a point. If it doesn't, you don't. The top 3 last week all lost, and me and Beast ended up winning. So we have a 5-way tie for first place between Thomas, Corey, DJ, myself, and Beast at 3 and 2. Pace, VFC, and Dan are tied at 2 and 3, and JT, Soup, and DG are tied with 1 and 4. So let's go through our upset of the week picks. JT, we'll start with you this time.
I mean, this is a UCLA podcast overall, right? We got to take UCLA with the points. We got
my goodness.
All right,
it's just
all right.
it's a lock. We're going in. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
Respect. A man committing to the bit.
Of course.
VFC, I know you wanted to go last, but if we're going to keep it in order here, you actually would be next.
I can go next.
Yeah, you're at the lowest in the standings. So you
Yeah, I
gotta
forgot about that. We had a rough week last week. I mind everybody, I did start out 2 and 1. I was in 2 lockoffs, one with our dear friend JT here and one with our dear friend Dan. And now I'm 2 and 3. I'm 0 and 2 in lockoffs. And that's why this week I was making sure I'm not in a lockoff. I got so in the weeds for this. And this is a play that I absolutely love and something that I know is going to strike home with our guy Beast Picks. We're going to Eastern Michigan versus Western Michigan, a big rivalry game in Michigan. I assume that's got to be a big rivalry game. Both of these teams suck really bad. The money is on the over. The total is moving down. It's the under 57.5. Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. Nobody's taking the over for their lock of the week in Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. It's just not happening. So under 57.5, I'm going to be by myself alone, chilling over there in Michigan, and I love it. So yeah, I'm taking the under 57.5, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. I would like to hear Beast's thoughts on that. I don't know if that's like as a Michigan man, but we can get to that later too.
Oh, I mean, that's as elite as it gets as far as like, you know, the state of Michigan's college football. Like that's a premier matchup, I would say.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, to be honest, like the Eastern fans probably care about it more than the Western fans because like Western actually has a rivalry with Central, but Eastern doesn't really have a rival. They're just kind of like that school in Ypsilanti that's not that good. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Ypsilanti, duh.
Yeah. So like, if you go to Eastern, like you don't really have a rival. I'm sorry to say it. There's probably somebody from EMU that went like there that's probably watching this podcast like, fuck you, Beast. But like, that's the truth. You guys don't have a rival. Like they're like the 5th best school in the state. So that's probably what's going to end up happening here is I think Western wins the game, but I like the under. I think both teams think not a lot of offense in that one.
Love it. Glad to hear it. Thank you.
Sounds good. Well, Soup actually just texted me his plays, so I wanted to read that off because he would be next. DJ, you're not alone again. He is also taking Oklahoma over Texas as his upset of the week. So we'll have 3 guys on that. His lock of the week, he's taking Wisconsin -10
Boo.
lock of the week. So
Wow. And
Graham
he was
Mertz
on Illinois
podcast.
last week as his upset of the week.
Beast, we'll go to you next. What do you have as your lock of the week?
All right. I'm going to preface this one. We don't want to get Corey too randy from this play. But we're going to Friday night. We're going to take Nebraska -3 at Rutgers here. I know everybody doesn't want to see it, but last week's Nebraska is what I've been waiting for all season. I was so excited about Nebraska entering the year. I'm still all in on Casey Thompson. Let my guy cook. I think this new coach, our guy Mickey Joseph, seems like he finally kind of is, getting the guys playing. Also, the other factor here is I don't care if they're going to Rutgers. Rutgers had a starting cornerback out last week, and they were down to their 3rd string safety. Those are 2 major pieces of a secondary that if those guys are out again, Casey Thompson's going to have way, way, way less stress on him as far as throwing the ball. They're likely to be rolling with their 3rd string quarterback over there in Rutgers with this guy, Evan Simon. They still don't have Vedrell back. They still aren't going to have Wimsett. He's still in a boot last week. So the big worry all year was like Nebraska's run defense. And then finally last week, their run defense showed up. They only allowed 67 yards on the ground to Indiana. I think they go to Rutgers this week, and I think they actually show exactly what they did last week, where they actually finally start playing football. Like Nebraska had sucked for so long, and they're still kind of getting a lot of like discredit for how they played early in the season. I think they show up here. I think they take care of business. I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 7. So hopefully I'm not getting Corey too fired up because he's telling us take the team total under, which might be like a sign that like I might be on the right side here. Because if the Nebraska guy is, taking the under, so we'll see. But I like Nebraska -3 a lot. I don't think Rutgers all that good. And I think Mickey Joseph might be trying to, make a case for himself as far as, head coach next year. He wants to get the promotion somewhere. So.
All right. Sounds good. DJ, what do you have as your lock of the week?
Yeah, I had to make a late switch. I hated my original lock of the week, so I made a late switch here. But I'm going to double down on my lock of the week last week, which was Middle Tennessee State +4.5. I'm taking Middle Tennessee State +9.5 against UAB. Everyone hyped up UAB. They've kind of sucked this year. I think Middle Tennessee State was riding a high against Miami, and they got shellacked by UTSA. UTSA is a good team. They just couldn't stop them defensively. UAB is nowhere near offensively the abilities that UTSA is. 9.5 is a lot of points. This is going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. I'll take Middle Tennessee State. +9.5. Originally I had Tennessee, did some research. I absolutely hate Tennessee now. I'm kind of on the LSU bandwagon. I can't believe I ever vocalized that Tennessee -3 was the move. I think LSU all day. I had to jump off that quick and jump on Middle Tennessee State +9.5.
All right. Sounds good. Well, to wrap up the lock of the weeks, for me personally, the team I'm betting is they've been playing solid all year long. They have a QB that's following up another QB who had a record-breaking season last season. Right now, that QB is passing for about 1,600 yards and 17 TDs. Both are top 5 in college football. And the team they've been playing teams tight all year. And I think this team could give them a run for their money. I would have picked them for upset of the week, but right now they're sitting at 6.5. So I think they're going to cover and they could potentially win. I'm taking Western Kentucky +6.5 against UTSA. And that is
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
UTSA is a solid squad. Tried to fade them last week. Did not work.
Yeah, that's tough. As far as the other crew goes, we don't have a lock of the week or lock off this week, but for the rest of the crew, Corey is taking Nebraska team total over 25.5 against Rutgers. That's his lock of the week. Thomas is taking Auburn +29.5 against Georgia.
Whew.
As his
Wow.
lock
A lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Pace is taking Boise State -7 against Fresno State.
No bias
chance.
there.
No chance of hitting.
DJ, the play that you were saying you hated is DG's lock of the week. He has Tennessee -3 as his lock of the week.
Best of luck to him. I once was on it.
And Dan is taking Pittsburgh minus 14 against Virginia Tech.
Ooh.
So
Is that game at Pitt, I assume?